Hi, everybody. Just letting everybody get logged on. Still trying to let y'all in. I'm in a weird place this time. I'm actually sitting on my couch, and I haven't done that in a really long time. A really, really long time. Hi, everybody. Good morning. Good afternoon. I am freezing here in Apple Valley. It is cold. Don't laugh at me. Trying to get my heater fixed today. Happy Wednesday, everybody. Everybody seems to be freaking out about this new law in regards to appliances. So I'm going to try to break it down for everybody real simply and say it the easiest way that I can in regards to the new appliances. The 10-year rule did not apply. That didn't make it into the law. It doesn't matter how old the appliance is, has no bearing. What it has to do is it has to be efficient for the unit size. Okay? It's right there in the language. Okay? The easiest way that I could explain it to all landlords is simply like this. You know how we've been providing water heaters all this time? Refrigerators and oven stoves become water heaters on January 1st. What does that mean? It means we have to provide it. We have to fix it when it breaks. If it's not working, they can withhold the rent. And they could bring their own, but it's highly unlikely. Oh no, my dog just found her squeaky toy. I got a feeling she's going to start going squeak, 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 squeak. Sorry in advance. She hasn't got her mouth around it yet, but it's coming. All right, everybody get that? The new appliance law basically made refrigerators and stove ovens water heaters, meaning we have to provide it, we have to fix it when it breaks, and the likelihood of the tenant bringing their own is not very high. If the tenant has their own fridge but wants a new one, is the owner required to replace? Yes, the owner must provide a refrigerator efficient to the unit size. So if they move their refrigerator into the garage and then use the refrigerator you just buy as a refrigerator, so be it. It's garbage what's happening. And on top of all of this, let me tell you what happened in LA City last week, okay? Because it's enough to make you throw up in your mouth. Everybody paying attention? I believe it's starting March 1st of 2026, and Arlene will yell at me if I'm wrong. What it says is as far as rent increases going forward, the ceiling will cap out at a maximum of 4% and a minimum of 1%. They took away the 1% additional that landlords could charge in LA City for paying the water bill. And they took away the additional 1% that an owner could charge if they were paying the gas and electric. Wait, there's more. They also removed the 10% additional for unauthorized occupants is now gone. And they made it so you can only charge 90% of the CPI, never to exceed 4%. Let me say this out loud and everybody pay attention, okay? If your rent's $1,000 a month, under current CPI, as of right now, it would be 3%, but you can only charge 90% of that. So 90% of a $30 rent increase. 90% of $30 a year on every $1,000. What are we talking about? $28? $28 per thousand. How do you fix a water heater for a $28 a year rent increase? How do you maintain a building? Paint the eaves. I think what they're going to see happen is LA City is going to turn into the Bronx. It is going to become more, I said that backwards, sorry, brain's working faster than mouth. It's going to become more dilapidated than it already is because we can't afford to do anything. And now we can't even afford these rent increases are ludicrous. Talking about breaking free of the chains of poverty are dragging us under the water. Jeez, we're hooked to that anchor pretty tightly. Sorry, I don't mean to bitch and complain, but I'm also a landlord in the city of LA, okay? I have one of these problems. I see questions coming in. What if the tenant has their own fridge but wants a new one? Is the owner required to replace? Yes. Did you get clarification of rent increase with June of 2026 certificate? No, Arlene, I have not. I have heard that our certificates say that those increases are good until June, and somebody said that this law is supposed to take effect as of March. So there's going to be a huge argument because there's undeciding factors. Who will figure that out? I don't know. It's going to be up for our legal counsel to determine what they're willing to argue and what they're not, to answer your question. I do not have a definite date. Okay? It's still up in the air. I'm getting different answers from different people, so I don't want to give you an answer because I don't have it. Okay? If it's happening in the city, the county will be next. This sucks for owners. What people need to realize is the LA City rules for RSO have spread like cancer. They're not just in LA City anymore. They are now in multiple cities within the county, such as, but not limited to, San Pedro, Sherman Oaks, and all these other cities that have their own bureaucracy and BS that want to follow LA City's guidelines. Okay? So buckle up. It's going to get a little interesting very quickly. Dan, the president of AGLA, is not happy about this. He is pissed, for lack of a better word, especially anybody that made it to the lunch and learn last week. Thank you for showing up. It was great seeing all you guys. Blue says hello. She's sitting next to me today. Say hi, Blue. She was snoring through the whole class last week. Anybody have anything they want to talk to me about?
Patti, this will discourage also people to do ADUs, I assume. Is that in Los Angeles? What do you think?
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, we got to spend money to make money, but when they make it so we can't be profitable or even break even, let me ask you a question, David, and you're going to be able to answer it for everybody, okay? What happens if the real estate market crashes and the rent's reduced by half? I mean, what happened in 2006, 2007? The last time we had an adjustment in the market, that's what happened. They went down by almost half, yes?
Yes.
Where's that going to put us now?
Bankrupt.
How are these owners going to be able to hold on to their investment properties if their rent's reduced by half? And then they can only increase by $28. It is painting a very bleak picture when you look at the big picture, okay? I see it as they're going to make it so it drives the little guy out of business. The state or the county will probably pick those properties up for pennies on the dollar because anybody that knows what they're doing will not reinvest in that area. unless it's in a very, very low market or it's got to be cost productive. Does that make sense? We don't enter business if we're just going to lose money unless we're only looking for a write-off. Hope that made sense. What did I do? I froze. Sorry. You guys, my tripod's out in the car. My heater's broken. I'm freezing. Blue's trying to cuddle up to me because it's cold in the house. I'm all bundled up. Don't laugh at me. They're coming this week. By chance, did I record Agla's meeting on security deposits? Started off really cool with that software and wanted to hear, and I'm sure it was a good one. I did, Julia, until we lost Wi-Fi signal or something happened, and then somebody notified me in the audience that we lost signal and you guys all disappeared. Sorry, I tried. I'm not really good at doing two things at the same time. I'll try to get better at it. I'm actually going to have somebody else start manning the Zoom meetings when I do a live and in person. That way your questions also get answered. Okay? I'm trying, you guys. I'm trying. I saw it was a problem. I'll fix it and make it better for next time. Anybody else have anything that they want to talk about? Okay. Listen to me because I'm going to talk to you really quickly, okay? Thanksgiving is next week, right? We are going to do Wednesday with Widget on Wednesday if you guys want to talk, and I'll talk about this again on Wednesday, okay? Someone is going to have a fire. I'm not trying to jinx it. I'm trying to give you a heads up. If it happens to be your turn when that happens, please don't panic. You have insurance. You pay them every month. That's what they're there for. Try to be comforting to the tenant, especially if they just lost everything. Patti is not burning houses now. It's Thanksgiving. Somebody's going to burn a freaking turkey. Somebody's going to have some kind of a grease fire, or somebody is going to freaking do a fried turkey and it's going to go badly. It is just going to happen. The reason I'm saying this is I looked at it this way, okay? When I was in charge of managing 1,500 single family homes, that's a lot, okay? I knew I was going to have at least one turkey fire somehow, and a broken oven. Let's face it, it's what happens. If it doesn't happen now, it happens at Christmas. Be ready, be prepared, and be calm. This is expected to happen. I'm telling you, it's a given. It is going to happen, okay? Be calm. If you have a fire at a property and the tenant calls you, one of the first things you want to always ask is, was the fire department notified? Okay. I know it's a dumb question to ask, but sometimes tenants are cooking something on the stove. They light a hand towel on fire by accident. They put it out and then call to report it to you. Okay. Don't bother me with that crap. Okay. Just because the smoke detector went off, I don't care. I want to know when there's damage, when there's problems, that kind of thing. So sometimes you have to talk to them about the situation to make sure, because their anxiety's high. Sometimes they think when that smoke detector goes off, it sends you a signal and reports to you. So with that being said, in the event you get this call, ask simple questions. If they say they had any kind of fire, number one question, was the fire department notified? Yes. Okay. If they say yes, you squeeze your cheeks. Did they come put hoses on the fire or spray anything? If you hear yes, squeeze tighter. Okay. This is bad. Have you contacted your insurance company? That's a good question for the tenant, okay? Try to remain calm. I know you're in freak out mode in that moment, but try to remain calm. I'm just trying to warn you of things that happen during the holidays. This time of year, it just happens, okay? So just be prepared for it. I'm not starting fires, Val, I promise. I'm trying to tell you guys how to deal with them. Or it was Melanie, not Val. Hey, it was a good comment. I figured maybe, just maybe. And now I lost my comments. Hold on, chat. There we go. I'm not, crackheads are the worst. Crackheads are worse than turkey fires. Okay, so I got to tell you guys something if you guys don't know, okay? And just hear me out. You know how they did away with the homeless problem and it was great for a while? I don't know where they sent them, but they're back, okay? And they're back with a vengeance. And in high dollar areas, or most desirable areas for people like us, where do we want to live? Santa Monica, Beverly Hills, right up on the water, up on the beach, right? Fancy, fancy. Let me ask you guys an honest question. If you had to live on the street, not live with family, if you were on the street, where would you go? Santa Monica? Beverly Hills? Playing along? The amount of homelessness that they have in those areas right now is ridiculous. And when I say ridiculous, I mean it, okay? Even at the campgrounds, when I go camping and traveling up the coast, you should see the people that come wandering down the beach and try to use the shower facilities that are there for the people that paid for a campsite. They're consistently trying to kick them out of there too. I know of owners, and I know you're in here right now, so you don't have to speak up if you don't want to, in high dollar neighborhoods that have had to put locking hose bibs on the outside of their property so the homeless will stop showering in the front yard. It is not like it used to be. Back when I was younger and I was a kid, I would say things like, "Man, I would love to live in Beverly Hills or Hollywood or, all these places." The amount of homelessness that you see there now is pathetic, and I feel so sorry for these homeowners that have to deal with this. If somebody was using my front spigot in front of my house as a freaking shower, I'd shoot them. I know, I didn't even hesitate. I didn't say with what, okay? Maybe a fire extinguisher. I don't look good in orange. But I mean, I can't even wrap my head around it. I was talking to a friend of mine that said that she went out to go to work and she couldn't get out of her garage door because a bum fell asleep on the garage door and it wouldn't open. The things I see when I'm at AGLA headquarters blows my mind. I had no idea it was so bad. Okay, we're going to get off that rant. We do that in South Central, lock it all. Exactly. Melanie knows. They got to lock down their hose bibs so that people won't steal water. And let me tell you something. It's not just the homelessness showering, okay? Those people that do mobile detailing and carry those tanks of water will pull right up to your business, hook their truck up and fill that tank and then drive off. It's water theft. Oof, you guys didn't even know that one, did you? Okay, let me get back to our... See? And the entrances to gas meters. They have to lock all this stuff off. You guys, it's crazy. Okay, Val, I got you. Arlene, you're asking me about the Ellis Act?
I have a question.
Okay.
If you want to, as your tenants move out and not re-rent, but still keep owner occupied, will that qualify for Ellis? Or does the building have to be completely vacant? Do you know?
I'm not sure.
Mm-hmm.
I can't answer that because you can Ellis Act a condo. And that's separately alienable. So I would have to check with council, but I'm probably just going to ask Dylan, honestly.
Okay,
I'll
yeah,
find out.
I'm just curious. Okay,
Okay.
thanks. I'm just curious, yeah.
No problem. I'm getting a tad desperate to rent my one-bedroom house, turning away dozens of creeps. Hang on, somebody's trying to get in. Just had a request from an unemployed veteran who is not familiar with my small town of Kern. He wants to move in since he has 2 large dogs and a cat, as no one is accepting him. I haven't received his application yet. I'm more concerned about his lack of knowledge of my town. Plus, closest VA office is in LA. I don't mind pets, but I'm hesitant to rent to someone who seems to be throwing a dart for a place to live. Is he covered by VASH, Val? VASH. And Val all together is kind of, hey, Val, does he have VASH? I mean, it ran together quickly. Sorry. VASH, just so everybody knows, is Veterans Supplemental Housing Assistance. And I said the acronym in the wrong order, but it's for veterans and it's Section 8. Simply said, it is Section 8 for veterans. And if that be the case, he may be sick and tired of being turned down for having 3 pets. So if that's a non-issue for you, Val, and Vash is paying his rent, I'd swoop him up. Val, no deal better than a bad deal. Listen to your inside voice. I love you, Arlene. I have a Vash tenant. He's amazing. Okay, see you guys? Pay attention. VASH. It stands for Veterans Assistive Supplemental Housing. It is basically Section 8 for veterans. But they assign a worker to them that comes out and checks on them quarterly to make sure that they're following your rules and taking care of the property. It is like Section 8 on steroids, and it helps our veterans. So I'm all about it. If you guys are all about it, please, I encourage you to try to rent to one of our veterans through that program. And a lot of them, it runs like Section 8. In other words, it's federally funded, blah, 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 blah. The reason that I suggest it and recommend it, you guys, is because you're helping a veteran at Section 8 and they have somebody spying on them for the first couple years. And then it turns to Section 8. Everybody that I have ever vetted from this program and put in housing has been extremely grateful, extremely appreciative. And I'll tell you right now, I have never once had a problem with them other than they had an ESA animal and their ESA animal died and they wanted to get a new one. And to me, that is a non-issue. They take great care of the property. Sometimes you're dealing with a little bit of PTSD, which is totally understandable and expected. I mean, war is no joke and it doesn't come with a filter. You don't get to pick and choose what you get to see and what you don't get to see. And let's be realistic, you guys. I think if we had to see that in real life, we would be in a different place mentally. Okay. With that said, go above and beyond if you can. If you have the capability, please seek out a VASH tenant. Advertise on their website for free. You can waive, or you're going to waive their application screening fee because they're federally funded anyway. So, I mean, just try. Okay, Val says free turkey giveaway in LA. I just received an email for a drive-through grab and go in partnership with Dodgers tomorrow, the 20th, from 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. at Align Sutton Recreation Center at 8800 South Hoover Street in LA. Thank you, Arlene. I'm sorry, Val. We will let our. I didn't expect Val to be telling us about something in LA. That screwed me up. I will. We will let our tenants know if we have some of them that may need that additional turkey assistance. I only have a yearly inspection. I understand that you only have a yearly inspection, and that is your yearly inspection with them, but their social worker comes and checks on them quarterly. That's what I'm saying. Where Section 8, we don't get that. Okay, yes, they do an annual inspection, but their worker checks on them quarterly. Julia, City of Ontario, single family residence. Can I charge additional rent for pets? I know the max is 1 month's rent for deposit. Deposit means it's refundable. Fee means it's not refundable. Want me to say that twice? And yes, you can if you're starting at inception, Julia. I wouldn't add it later because opposing counsel will most likely argue that it's an illegal rent increase. In other words, you didn't give 90 days, it might be over 10%. I'm just talking to you out loud. I spoke to Kelly at Fast Evict and I'm going to proceed with small claims. What happens if the tenant starts harassing me after they're served? I'm sure I'm getting ahead of myself, but they can be confrontational. Honey, if they call you and it's excessive, call the police. File a police report. File a restraining order against them. That's what you do. And you have kids. Tell your husband you're interested in purchasing something to defend the household. Keyword was defend the household. Right now, Val's laughing. No problem. I typically charge a $150 pet fee until that gets nullified. Can I still charge a pet fee if they're deemed emotional support? No, you may not. Listen up real close. Emotional support, therapy, service. There's another one. Guide dog. Anything that has the word animal behind it, you can't charge for. A pet you can charge for all day long. But the second it says animal, you can't charge for it. It becomes a wheelchair. Okay? Ooh, there's the website for the free turkey dinner. Thank you, Val. Anybody that has a tenant or themselves for that matter that could use a free turkey dinner, yeehaw. I'm doing my Thanksgiving on Thursday because I know that my family has other obligations. So if I want to get them all together under one roof, I just do it the week before. So I'm having mine on Thursday. My daughter asked me, what are we doing on actual Thanksgiving? And I said very calmly to her, well, honey, if you're hungry, I can get you one of those hungry man turkey dinners, but I'm not cooking twice. What is wrong with these children? I mean, isn't it Swanson, hungry man? I mean, how old am I, right? Look at that. Look at that. Just snoring away on my lap. Goofball. Anybody have anything else?
Do you know whether VAST or Section 8, they've been talking about it possibly going away?
They have.
So, have you heard anything? It actually currently happened?
I haven't, but I'm waiting to see if April chimes in. And if she's not on here, maybe it's time to get an April update. Maybe I'll ask her if she'll come on and speak in the next couple of weeks and talk to us about what's going on with the federal programs for income.
Yeah.
Melanie, LA rent increases, non-RSO condominium. How can we increase rent now? If you're exempt from AB 1482, also, you're at that 8% in LA County, I believe. I understand, Melanie. Here's the problem. The law says it's going to change on March 1st of 2026. You already have a certificate from the city stating that that price is good until June 30th of 2026. So one contradicts the other. Now the argument is, which one's correct? You understand? I don't have a solid answer for you yet, so I'm not putting out that information until I do. I'm getting too much of different answers from different people. So I want to make sure I have a solid answer for you before I give you a definite drop dead date. So I'll tell you this. For now, I'm going to tell you it's March 1st. Why? Because that date comes sooner. I may
I'm going to
change.
try to reach I'm going to try to reach LAHD and
Okay.
see if I can get an answer.
It's so hard to get an answer even out of attorneys right now because it creates an argument of what's stronger, what we have in writing or what you guys just passed. But I already have this in writing that I can charge this amount until this date. So it
And you have to
creates this,
provide it with the increase.
right, it creates this huge litigation argument. And I think that's exactly what they're trying to do is create a huge litigation argument. So to err on the side of caution and be completely safe, I'm going to tell you that date's going to be March 1st.
Yeah, Block said 2.7 starting then.
2.7 is 90% of the CPI.
Correct.
Okay. So I would to do the CPI and then minus 90% and or times 90%, and that would be that amount. So we all have different ways to figure it out. Hang on, here comes Julia back. Wait a second. Has anyone had to wait a very long time for a rental listing to post on Zillow or Redfin? I've never had this issue before. They have to screen the ad and now require proof of ownership. It's been 5 days and still not live on Zillow. Redfin took 4 days. I'm unsure, Julia. I don't use them to advertise. Someone else may pipe in with an answer here shortly. So just
I
hang
haven't
tight.
had that issue, Julia. But my last ad was about a month ago.
Okay, so we haven't had that problem a month ago. I have a feeling there's a lot more fraud going on nowadays, you guys. Well, I don't have a feeling, I know. I know there's a lot more fraud going on, not only on the tenant side, but also on the owner side. Okay, there's a lot of people out there pretending to be landlords that aren't and renting properties that don't exist or that don't belong to them. So it's most challenging. They're also getting really good at generating bullshit fake documents, pay stubs, tax refunds. And I'll tell you right now, you know who they're hitting with all their fake applications? Corporate America. They're not coming after us little mom and pops yet. They're going after the big money at corporate America right now. So leave them alone, let them go to big corporate America, but be on the lookout for things that don't make sense, okay? There is a lot more fraud going on with generation of pay stubs and documentation, and we're finding that being a huge problem in corporate America right now. And what hits them eventually hits us. So please pay attention to documentation. Please use a vetting software company if you have one available. That's always a good choice. Hire a professional, and if you have questions, ask them. I'm here to help you.
Julia, try putting it on Nextdoor. I've had a lot of success with that. If you're worried about timing until you can get the other, and I'm wondering what are they asking for proof of ownership?
Arlene, can you hear me? I don't know if my mic is on.
We can hear you. Go ahead.
Okay. So they are asking for either a copy of your mortgage, your your homeowner's insurance policy, and then if it's under an LLC, the LLC documents, and then there was one more, but surprisingly, grant deed wasn't one of them, which is what I wanted to use. But so it's either mortgage statement or insurance. There was one more, I just can't remember.
Odd. Okay.
Yeah.
Val, you're asking about 1482. If you have two on a lot and you don't live in one of them, you're subject to AB 1482 on that one. Single family home, you're exempt because you're serving the exemption notice. Yes, you're absolutely correct. You would check box 3 that you're subject to AB 1482 rent caps. Apartments.com is good, but they are fairly expensive.
They're all part of Zillow and stuff. They're all together now.
Yeah, so check this out. There was a place called forrent.com. And remember they used to have those magazines outside the grocery store advertising all those listings of stuff for rent like 5 years ago before COVID. You guys remember that? It was forrent.com. And they had the magazines at all the markets and the grocery stores, right? Okay. That company went digital with their magazine, okay, for rent. So did apartments.com, okay? Pay attention, I may ask questions later. They also had cozy.co, which was an online software program. They had all these little companies. And if you guys know who CoStar is, CoStar came in and bought up all of them. They bought up for rent. They bought up for apartments. They bought up Zillow. They're monopolizing the industry. They're buying up all those little companies. They're just buying them, buying them, buying them. And when you go all the way backwards up through the chain, it's CoStar that owns all of it. Who is CoStar? CoStar is a company that provides commercial agents, for lack of a better word, almost like a multiple listing service or an address, a plethora of addresses of anything that's 5 units or more. Now, it doesn't cover any single family residences, any fourplexes, any threeplexes, or any duplexes. CoStar is strictly built for 5 units or more, commercial buildings. They own Zillow. They own apartments.com. They own For Rent. They bought up all the little advertising industry. They're monopolizing the industry. There's no way to say it any differently. They're buying up all the little people and taking over. So we got what? Trulia and Zillow. Those are, I mean, and I'm going to tell you guys right now. Pay attention, okay? Make a flyer for your vacant home, your vacant unit, whatever it is, and advertise at the local college, at the local hospital, at the local places where they have a lot of employees, the local colleges. Advertise in human resources at the local hospital. Okay? You're advertising not to the people that go there, you're advertising to the people that work there. Got it? Okay. If you live near an airport, go in there, ask to speak to human resources. Okay? I'm just trying to be helpful to you guys of finding people that have jabs. Just saying. If you have units near the aerospace industry, go contact them. Ask them if you can advertise in their lunchroom or in their human resources department. Okay? Trialavail.co.
Patty, I included in the chat, I found the email that Zillow sent me. And so it's everything that if you're an owner, those are the documents. You have to submit one of those. And then if you're a property manager, you would have to submit one of those.
Okay,
or at least
perfect.
I had to.
Perfect. Thank you.
Yeah. Julia, Avail does 21 websites. They put it out to Nextdoor. They put it out to Redfin, to a bunch of places. Sumper,
Okay.
AdMapper, and everything.
Oh, awesome. Thank you so much. I've never heard of them, but yes, I will definitely look into it.
Okay, and they're free.
Val CAA. All right. Anybody else have anything that they want to discuss, talk about? Because I'm going to actually put on some warmer clothes and get out of this house and see if I can't go find what I need for my heater. I'm on a mission. I'm also going to go to Costco and buy the things I need for Thanksgiving dinner because I am working at Agla tomorrow. If you guys need me tomorrow, call me at Agla between 8:30 and 4:30. Those are some hefty Zillow requirements. I listed mine before this was implemented. I wonder if I do not have a mortgage statement nor would not have a mailed tax statement as I pay digitally, am I screwed? They're trying to stop people. This helps you guys too. You have to understand that, okay? A lot of the scams that go on, especially on Craigslist, is somebody else will pull your listing, copy all of your information, and change the contact information to their contact information. Okay, hear me out. When somebody inquires about renting the unit and they list it for less money, okay? When somebody inquires about renting the unit, they then meet them over there, tell them that they can move in, everything's fine. They collect their first month's rent security deposit, and then they break in and tell them that somebody will come later to get them a key. They're now in possession. They usually have a written contract, even though it's garbage, and they're in your house. That's why we say stay away from Craigslist. It's a cesspool for fraud. Okay? With that being said, this may be something that Zillow is now trying to do to avoid that problem for tenants getting screwed over by these people that are committing fraud. Okay? Those. Yep, it does. It happens very quickly. Patti, can we briefly go over the Zillow listing? I had connection issues. Zillow is now vetting you as a owner or a property manager to make sure you have a mortgage statement for that property or insurance on that property. They're making sure you're not a scammer and that you actually own the property. So Zillow is now vetting you to make sure you are who you say you are. I had a few pals report as scam. It was taken down within a few days, but popped up again a few days later. It's happening now. Yeah, we're getting a lot of scams all over the place, and we're going to see a lot more, I think, as far as this goes, of people trying to get a handle on the fraud that's going on in our state, in our nation, in our country. You guys, I used to work at a property management company, a big one in the Inland Empire, okay? A big one. And I had fraud coming through probably at least one a week back in 2000, between 2008 and 2016. One a week with 1,500 single family homes. One a week. Okay? That's a lot. From what I'm understanding, Sal, they're starting to ask for it now, and it's probably going to be based on various areas where they're seeing more fraud going on than others. It's been 5 days and I'm still waiting for my rental ad to get posted. So Julia's saying it's happening to her now. I don't know if it's happening to everyone now, if it's just happening in certain areas. These are questions I can't answer. I can get a Zillow rep on here if we want to talk to them about it, but I already know why it's happening. It's to help eliminate fraud, simply said. The same reason why a credit screening company asks you guys for your social security number, your date of birth, your address, because if you're asking for all this personal information on other people, then share with me yours. So I know you're not here doing no good. Okay? That's what that's all about. They're trying to keep it transparent. They're trying to keep it equal. They're trying to make sure you stay in your lane. All right. Anybody else have anything that they want to talk about? Otherwise, I'm going to get off of here. I got to go to Costco. You might upgrade to a premium listing. You may be getting ignored. You may also need to check that you accept the Zillow applications. This is crazy, but it has a big deal to do with it. I know it does. All right, anybody else have anything? Thank you guys. You guys have a wonderful week. I will be back next Wednesday, the 26th. I had to think about that. The 26th, next Wednesday. Okay? Which is the day before Thanksgiving. Happy Thanksgiving, everybody. But I will be back next Wednesday. I'm sure that we may just have a small group, and that's fine too. We can talk about whatever anybody needs to talk about. If anybody has problems or issues, we can address those too. Thanksgiving is Saturday at my house. Saturday. Happy Thanksgiving, everybody. Everybody have a wonderful week. And I will talk to you soon. Bye.